So we start our practice with the aspiration and then the verse from Shantideva. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. So I just ran across a quote that I read at another teaching here, but I liked it so much, I'm going to just read it, and then I'll teach some meditation. This is from Carl Rogers, and it's reported by Rachel Naomi Remen in a very nice book called Kitchen Table Wisdom. Before every session, he was a psychotherapist. Before every session, I take a moment to remember my humanity. There's no experience that this man or woman sitting in front of me has that I cannot share with this man or woman. No fear I cannot understand, no suffering that I cannot care about, because I too am human. No matter how deep their wound, this person does not need to be ashamed in front of me. I too am vulnerable, and because of this, I am enough. Whatever their story, they no longer need to be alone with it. This is what will allow them, their healing, to begin. So it's just an acknowledgement of a kind of shared humanity that he would always call to mind, and I think it's very, very inspiring for all of us, whether we're with friends or customers, clients, patients, relatives. It's very, very important and helpful to recognize that we share vulnerability to pain and suffering. Just as the Buddha saw people sick and dying and old, we are all vulnerable. So we do two simple meditations here on Sunday. One is a very, very simple attention to breathing, and one is a chanting of a mantra. And these have many, many functions, but perhaps the simplest and most important is that it provides us with a skill in attention and also in a skill in being able to just let go of the ordinary stream of thoughts, feelings, emotions. We're going to have thoughts, we're going to have feelings, we'll have emotions. But as we're focusing on the breath or we're focusing on the mantra, we allow our focus to remain on those primarily. And we just let thoughts, feelings, whatever, just come and go. Maybe for some people at a certain point, the mental chatter may quiet down or it may slow down. That may occur, but it usually takes some time. But more significantly, we're learning that just because we have a feeling to say, "You're stupid," we may be able to catch ourselves and notice we have that impulse to say that, and we may catch our tongue instead of just blurting out something without thinking. Or we may feel, "I need to go gamble tonight." And again, with the skill of attention, we may be able to feel what that urge is like, and we may have a choice. And instead of just being buffeted around in life by our impulses, we may feel we've got a little bit of spaciousness to make a choice. So the actual practice is with the breathing, just we settle our attention on the breath, and then we actually place our attention on the breathing, and then we settle into the process of breathing. Wherever we're noticing breathing, we actually, as it were, become one with the process of breathing, and just allow ourselves to do that. And if thoughts are coming and going, we just let them be in the background. If we get completely distracted and we notice that, that's in a way a moment of awakening. We bring our attention back to the process and settle into the process of breathing. With the mantra, we use a sacred syllable that was given to us by our teacher Adzom Rinpoche. We say the syllable Hung, Hung, which is the heart mind, the compassionate heart mind of the Buddha is symbolized by Hung, Hung. But everybody does it at their own pace, Hung, Hung. And we just focus our mind, our breath, and our attention on Hung, Hung, and just allow that to be all of us. And again, if there are thoughts or feelings that do come up, we just let them come and go. If we get completely distracted, just bring your attention back to the process of Hung, Hung. So we will alternate those for a while, and then we'll have a break. So, just allow yourself to sit comfortably. You can have your eyes closed if you want. If you want them open a little bit, have a soft focus. Don't be actually looking at anything. Just have your eyes open. Just be aware of your breathing, process of breathing. And place your attention on that process of breathing, and then see if you can actually settle in to that process of breathing. And just, if possible, become one with that process of breathing. Have no other cares. Without changing your posture, just sense in to what your body feels like right now. What is your emotional state like right now? What is your mind like right now? Just check in. How is your body? What is your emotional state like right now? How is your mind right now? And do you have some sense of even this room, this space? What's your sense of this space and all of us in this space? What's your sense of this space? And how does this all compare to when you arrived? How is your body now compared to when you arrived? What is your emotional state now compared to when you arrived? How is your mind now compared to when you arrived? What does this space feel like compared to when you arrived? Is there some change for the better? And if there is that one kind of source of motivation to repeat such an endeavor? We'll take about a 10-minute break.
Dawn Mountain offers traditional Buddhist teachings, primarily in the Tibetan tradition, in a way that is accessible to contemporary Americans. Having studied and practiced for many years under recognized Tibetan masters, and understanding that these teachings provide a way to realize the natural state of mind that embodies profound wisdom and deep love, Anne Klein and Harvey Aronson wish to share these traditions here in the United States. As a result, they established Dawn Mountain in June 1996, based on the core belief that it is possible to cultivate a better understanding of our deepest nature, which in turn facilitates new levels of mental calm and self-acceptance.
So our inspiration really comes from our love and gratitude to our own teachers. They spent so much time and care with us over many, many years.
Khetsen Rinpoche was extraordinarily compassionate. He had a terrific sense of humor. And just his ability to be present and immediate and just there. Adzon Rinpoche is extraordinarily compassionate and grounded.
And we've had extraordinary experiences with Adzam Rinpoche, whom I met in Tibet in 96. And I've had many hours of just, one-on-one conversation, a person who has tens of thousands of students to attend to. Okay, there's this wealth of cultural wisdom in Tibet. It's encoded in texts, in practices, in rituals, in art, and many people in the West are attracted to it, and yet Westerners are Westerners. We're Westerners. We're not monastics. We may dedicate our lives to practice in our heart of hearts, but we have families, we have jobs, we have all kinds of responsibilities. So how can we communicate and really experience transformation through these practices? For that, some kind of bridging is necessary. We're also a community center, nonprofit community center, which is the hub of our work extending life skills, the life skills of cultivating calm, of cultivating ease in life, of cultivating kindness.
What did you do today that you liked?
Make the glittery thing to show your anger.
And what happened when you shook up the glittery thing?
It made me feel a little bit like I wanted to meditate in peace.
And then the Research Institute is where we look at what we can provide by way of information gained through research for the interested public. So we've mentioned that our own teachings here, which are drawn from work that we've done, our own translation work, our own study, and so forth, some of these will start appearing as pamphlets for practitioners here, and some of them will become books that will be published and will be widely available to the larger public. And I am right now in the process of gathering a team to translate a text from this tradition, which he powerfully feels, and which I also have a very strong wish to see translated, and we hope to do more of that. We've seen people telling us how their lives have changed, how their lives are improved, the comfort, the inspiration that they feel coming to Dawn Mountain. We really are inspired to envision a way that Dawn Mountain becomes a stable beacon and place of gathering for people who wish to practice at whatever level.
I trust the teachings. I feel in the place. I feel that I am constantly fed.
And I can feel my breathing better because of the way my legs are positioned.
How long have you been sitting like that?
I learned it when I started coming here.
And it's not only been in the spiritual sense, but also in every aspect of my daily life. I feel that I'm less stressed out. I don't get as angry or as depressed as I used to.
It's good. It teaches me how to kind of relax and be mindful and help with school and stuff like that whenever I get aggravated.
One of our projects that has come to partial fruition is that we have developed a curriculum, which is posted on our website, that explains the open matrix of what a spiritual path can be, supported here at Dawn Mountain.
We've slowly become aware of the power of the media, and it is clear now that there is great interest in both our broadcasts from here, and from time to time we might be able to have broadcasts from Asia with Adzam Rinpoche or his sister Anila. Without students there are no teachers, and without teachers there are no students. We all dependently create one another. So we're very excited by the energy that is in the community, The community is alive, it is supportive, it is growing, and it really wishes to thrive, and we want to participate in that thriving in every way that we can. But we're really talking about finding a space of shared values. And if individuals share the values that we have in terms of coming to a deep appreciation of our innermost nature, then come and participate. That's the most significant thing that we can do together. Just sharing our participation is lovely and meaningful. And anything above and beyond that, by way of offering service for this community, offering financial, flows naturally. And we expect that that will just be a natural outflow for people because of that shared interest.
Dawn Mountain offers traditional Buddhist teachings primarily in the Tibetan tradition in a way that is accessible to contemporary Americans. Having studied and practiced for many years under recognized Tibetan masters, and understanding that these teachings provide a way to realize the natural state of mind that embodies profound wisdom and deep love, Anne Klein and Harvey Aronson wish to share these traditions here in the United States. As a result, they established Dawn Mountain in June 1996, based on the core belief that it is possible to cultivate a better understanding of our deepest nature, which in turn facilitates new levels of mental calm and self-acceptance.
So our inspiration really comes from our love and gratitude to our own teachers. They spent so much time and care with us over many, many years.
Khetsen Rinpoche was extraordinarily compassionate. He had a terrific sense of humor. And just his ability to be present and immediate and just there. Adzon Rinpoche is extraordinarily compassionate and grounded.
And we've had extraordinary experiences with Adzon Rinpoche, whom I met in Tibet in 96. And I've had many hours of just, one-on-one conversation, a person who has tens of thousands of students to attend to. Okay, there's this wealth of cultural wisdom in Tibet. It's encoded in texts, in practices, in rituals, in art, and many people in the West are attracted to it, and yet Westerners are Westerners. We're Westerners. We're not monastics. We may dedicate our lives to practice in our heart of hearts, but we have families, we have jobs, we have all kinds of responsibilities. So how can we communicate and really experience transformation through these practices? For that, some kind of bridging is necessary. We're also a community center, nonprofit community center, which is the hub of our work extending life skills, the life skills of cultivating calm, of cultivating ease in life, of cultivating kindness.
So we will resume, alternating between breathing and chanting. Just place your mind on the breath and settle into it. And it is the case that as we become quieter, we may become more aware of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our sensations. It's actually a sign of your mind becoming somewhat clearer. And it's just part of the process. Slowly, slowly, thoughts may become a little bit less pressured or a little bit quieter or fewer in number, but you start getting involved with anticipation, that can become its own distraction. So, but just know that as we are doing this, especially in the beginning phases, which may be days, weeks, months, or years, there may be a little bit of a clarifying of the processes of mind, ordinary mind. But that actually changes over time. So just see if you can very, very gently place your attention on the process of breathing and settle into that process. Settle into the process of breathing. Ong Ho. Without changing anything, notice the acuity or clarity with which you are sensing your body right now. Notice the acuity or clarity with which you are hearing. Notice the acuity or clarity with respect to what you may be feeling. Notice the acuity or clarity with respect to what you are thinking. How is that acuity or clarity compared to what you walked in with? Is that something you're interested in? Palash, maybe you and Siddharth could light one of the candles when we get to it in a second after we do the dedication. So we do a dedication of our virtue, our goodness to all beings throughout space, and then we'll do a blessing, we'll light a candle, and we will read the names in the book. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. Okay. We began with Siddharth, we're ending with Siddharth. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom, shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth, born in one enlightened mandala. We have a wick problem. What about this one? See if that one will work. No? Do we have a fresh candle? We'll get a fresh one. They're coming. Thank you, Gary and Silwa. So today, in addition to all beings throughout space, what? Actually started a little bit earlier than that, but anyway. Babeth Van Loo, Charlotte Seibert, Lark Kasky, Jeremy Safran and the Bardo, Anil Sharma, Kirti Sharma, Palash Siddharth Vasudha, Charlene Shoup, Andy Boudreau in the Bardo, Beverly Baumel, Anthony Larson, Greg, Kate, Jason, Logan McCurley, Jack Kirshner, Gregor Bev, Ann and David, Jirlu, Lynn and Bill, Bice, Renee C., Dorothea, Audrey Fisher, Billy in the Bardo, Herman Klug in the Bardo, Alexander fighting addiction, Gwyn surgery, Constant, Matilde, Valerie, and quote the village, Sarah, Michael, and Gray, George Helland, Antonia, Eleanor Day, Anna Silva, Farron Pratt, Giselle Pratt, Leonardo Pratt, Catherine Payne, Payne family, Vivian Almeida, Guillaume Silva, Brian Hampton, Camacho's Mike, Kaisu, Doris, Beverly, Diane, Robert, Miss T, Dominica, Raheem, William, Gary, Mary, Scott, Rito, Tara, Julie, Jessica, Gus, Jim and family, Richard Hood in the Bardo, Jewel Trimble, Bardo and family, Babeth, Van Loo, Charlotte, Petra's mom, Vasuda and Palash, Ted, Mark, Cypress, Bardo, Nicholas, Griefmeyer in the Bardo, Blackbird that my cat killed in the Bardo, Flieger family, Steve in the Bardo, Anna, Margot, Claire Moore, Teresa Alvarez in the Bardo, Andy Boudreau in the Bardo, Stacia Burt in the Bardo, Beverly Bammel, Beth Sims, Sarah Buck, Zach Leone, Althea Malay, our broadcasters, Bobby for pain and suffering, all suffering children. And we'll conclude with an ah, sending our wishes for the benefit of all beings everywhere. We are starting our summer series on motivation and spiritual life, first and third Tuesdays. I will be doing it with Mark Urwitz and Clara Villarreal. And there'll be a little bit different format. There'll be a little didactic presentation, and then we'll be talking, and then we're going to encourage conversation with all the members of our community. And so it will be light. It'll be fun and hopefully inspiring. We encourage you to come. Lovely to see you all. Thank you for coming so much. Is there anything from you, Mary Scott?
Just to mention that in addition to the Teaching Tuesdays on the first and third Tuesday, on the second and fourth Tuesday, we have practice here from 7 to 8:15, and it's basically individual practice. There will be somebody here to open the space and open and close the evening, but it's come and meditate in whatever form you are currently meditating. And if you like what we do and would like to get more involved, I invite you to become a member of Dawn Mountain, which gives you free access to the Teaching Tuesdays and gets you our gratitude and makes you a real official part of the family. And for a couple people asked me for pledge cards today, so just to mention that we are in this Bedrock initiative of our capital campaign, and if you haven't had a chance to make a gift or make a pledge, I have lots more pledge cards, and I would be happy to let you go home with one or fill one out on the spot. And there was one other thing I was going to mention.
Yes, so just in terms of that Bedrock campaign, we will be moving. It's not clear just yet when, and it's not clear just yet where, but it is clear. It's like the time and the place of death is not definite, but death is definite. We are definitely moving.
That's right.
That form of impermanence we will be participating in, probably more quickly than we prefer, but that's coming. And so this Bedrock campaign is to long-term help us find a new home.
Home, yes, indeed. I know what I'm, and we're still actively recruiting members of the temple keeping team. So there's a long tradition in Buddhist Dharma centers of the cleaning and maintenance of the space being done by volunteers from the Sangha. So that's all of us. And it's a beautiful opportunity. You can do it at any time that works for you. We will make that happen. It's typically done in teams of 2. So even if you've told me before that you're willing to do this, will you tell me again? Because this is my highest priority of the moment, and I'd love to. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. And there's also a donation bowl on the way out just for casual dollars. We like those too. Thank you.
Thank you. Great to see everybody.